Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading. I am reading today with the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. It's a standard Rider-Waite tarot deck. I thought we would focus on the story today rather than the cards. And the story is a long and a sad story, and a story in which recollections clearly have varied. And the story is the story of Harry and William's past, their childhood, their teens, their 20s, probably before both of them met their wives and got married. And the reason I'm doing this reading is because, as those of you who watched my readings yesterday will know, I read copiously on the scapegoat theme, which Omid Scobie has warned us is going to be quite dominant in Prince Harry's book called Spare. And I read on it from Harry's point of view yesterday, and I said that today I would read on it from William's point of view, how Prince William feels about his past being exposed, being dug over, revealed to us, how he feels about his brother accusing him of being the golden child, basically, of getting away with murder, figuratively speaking, while Harry was blamed for the slightest indiscretion, the unfairness of that. And I thought about it today. I've had a long day dealing with Christmas carols and book clubs and walking the dog and people and family and stuff, and in the course of the day I've been thinking about it, and I thought, you know what, I'm pretty certain that William feels betrayed and hurt and horrified, so who needs to read on that? Let's go back into the past with just an ordinary Rider-Waite tarot deck, the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, and let's have a look at the past and let's see what was going on. As far as we were concerned, we saw two little boys growing up with their mum, their dad, then not mostly with their mum, but we saw lots of holidays with mum after the divorce, and happy holidays, skiing, water slides, those kinds of things. Two brothers who looked like they were, and I've just dropped the microphone. If you hear strange sound effects, I do apologise. It's attached to a very long cable, and the whole lot of cable went crash on the floor. But as far as we were concerned, the story we were told was that they were two darling little boys who got on like a house on fire. They had each other's backs. They were inseparable. They were I'm trying to think of the French, one for us and all for one, or how does it go? They were the three musketeers, but they were just the two musketeers. That's what I'm trying to remember. And we were told that story. We believed that story. I believed that story when they grew up, when they went into their teens, troubled times for some of them. It looked as if they were thick as thieves. And then we find out not so much. At least one of them saw things very differently. So I've got a list of questions today that I'm going to be asking. I'm going to be asking how they got on with each other when they were growing up. How they got on with their mother when they were growing up. Because Harry likes to say he was the mom's favourite, Diana's favourite. A lot of people say William was her favourite. William was the one she confided in, her rock, her soulmate, all the weird stuff that she called her son. A bit disturbing in my opinion, and let's remind you, this is all just my opinion. This is a tarot reading for entertainment purposes. There is a disclaimer in the box below. Please read it. So we're going to look at their relationship with each other, with their mother. We're going to look at the party card, the drink and drugs card. They had their own bar at Highgrove. I think it was at Highgrove. I could be wrong. Just had a mental blank. But the now King Charles, the then Prince of Wales, decided it was better to keep them at home drinking than send them out into the public. So they had the bar where they partied. And we're going to look at that. We're going to look at scandals that might have been covered up. And all bookmarked, quite literally, by the book. The book that Harry is bringing out, the situation as it is now, and how the situation will be after. So there is with each other, there is mother. This is the drink and drugs card. And this is the scandal card. What was covered up for each of them? William on the top line, Harry the bottom, because of course he is second. He is the spare. And how that irks him, how that is a source of grievance. It's quite amazing. And also how out of alignment these cards are is quite amazing. So we'll just shuffle them down and get them to look a bit better. And then we will see. And we have the King of Swords who's come out to play today in reverse as our underlying energy of this reading. King of Swords is truth and justice and fair play and wisdom and shrewdness and intelligence and all the rest of it. He's in reverse. So we're getting confusion and doubt and chaos. And it's quite a temper on him when he's in reverse, the King of Swords, fighting words. Ugly words, cruel words, vicious words. That's the book, in my opinion. And so we'll put the King of Swords to one side over there with the rest of the cards, and we'll see what's going on. The signifier for this reading, the heart of the matter, the situation, the scapegoat story. What do you want to tell us about this? Someone has given up. Someone wants to drop this and walk away from this relationship. It's too difficult. It's not worth it. It's just heartache and trouble, and somebody has given up. That's the 10 of Wands, maximum difficulty. Not stress, just a burden that somebody has carried and carried. I know who the somebody is, and it's William, in my opinion, who has carried this burden of this relationship for so long, and now cannot anymore and wants to put it away. It does not bode well for any prospect of reconciliation. I saw that in the readings I did yesterday, that the heartache, the betrayal, the poison, all the rest of it was going to be very difficult to overcome. But that tells me already we're over, we're done, finished. Tens are endings. This is a bad ending. This is a terrible ending when the 10 of Wands is in reverse. Can't do it anymore. Possibly for both of them. Possibly it's a sense for both of them that this relationship is finished, and it's brought both of them difficulty in their lives. Harry because he's never good enough in his mind. William because he's always looking after, always protecting, always forgiving. That's the energy that's coming from that card, and it is very much my interpretation of that card and their dynamic. Just my opinion. William on top, of course. So first column in this little reading is about their relationship with each other. How did he feel about Harry growing up? Well, Harry was the lush. spoiled, and had issues with substances. It's come out right out and said it. 9 of Cups, the heavy drinking card. But there's also indulgence, it's self-indulgence. It's gluttony, greedy. Harry, William, as far as William was concerned, Harry could never have enough. Wanted more, give me more, give me more. Whether it was attention or notice or substances, that kind of thing. Harry had an insatiable appetite for things that a little bit toxic and spoiled. Got away with it because he was the younger one and he could get away with it, and he said as much. I'm the spare, I can do what I like. I can do whatever I like. I can get away with it because I'm the spare. And that's exactly what Prince William saw. It's one of my least favourite cards in the tarot. There's this sort of glutton energy. I really, really don't like it. I don't like what it represents. This give to me. I want it. I want it all. I want it now. I will drain every cup. I will have every pleasure. I will do exactly what I please. And I will get away with it because I am the spare. That is it. How did Harry feel about William growing up? How did he see him? Wow. This is a terrible card. An absolutely terrible card. It's a toxic card. It's the it's anger, the devil. The primary emotion that comes to me from the devil is anger. He felt very angry towards William. Very, very angry. It's everything that is negative and hostile and toxic and vicious in your psyche. As a secondary energy, I just need to get that out the way, the secondary energy, he sees William as being chained to something, chained to a situation, a difficult situation, because he was the heir, is the heir. Harry, of course, boldly said, nobody wants the job, nobody wants to be the king, nobody wants it, but William will just have to do it, kind of thing. So Harry was glad that he wasn't the one who was chained, as these two are, chained to the devil, to that position, to that legacy. But that, for me, is a secondary energy of this card. The primary energy of the devil is literally rage, resentment, brought out everything nasty in Harry. This is a very karmic relationship. It's not the sweet little relationship that we were told it was. It's not at all. This is a huge card to come out, because it's addiction, it's obsession, it's lies, it's cheating, it's vicious energy. It's extremely dark. His feelings towards his brother are extremely dark. They were in childhood. They were extremely dark, very negative, very dangerous, I would say, coming from a very, very, very dark place. It's a terrifying card. It's not a card that I was expecting to see there. And I think Prince William sensed it, because he's a water sign. Water signs, of course, have that intuition quite highly developed, unless they're a particularly shallow water sign. But Prince William would have felt it. He would have felt the resentment, the hostility, the negativity, the desire to attack and bring down and destroy. So the relationship with their mother, how was it for William? How was William's relationship with Princess Diana? He saw through the facade. He saw through the illusion. Seven of Cups is the illusion card, possibilities, potentials, but always that slightly deluded about what you might get. Not quite knowing what's in that the Christmas cracker for you. Don't know where that came from. I suppose been singing Christmas carols today. But he saw her for what she was, warts and all. He saw it. He was not under any illusions about his mother, even growing up. Prince Harry, how is Harry's relationship with his mother in the context of this, the Wheel of Fortune, of this brotherly situation, the scapegoating situation? The Wheel of Fortune. He felt that he was very blessed, he was very lucky to be her son, that she was the source of all good things in his life, and he still feels it. We've seen that. Oh, she's moved over to California now with me. She's sorted William out, got him the wife and everything else. Now she's sorted me out, got the wife and the kids, because Mom did it. This is literally what this card is telling me. She's the Deus Ex Machina. She is almost the God you pray to and make things happen. Bring good luck to me, bring good fortune, bring blessings to me. He felt that she had some kind of unearthly power, ability to make wonderful things happen. William saw it. He saw the reality of the situation. Harry believed in the mystery, the mystical power of his mother to make the sun come out on a rainy day, to manifest a wife, to bring children into his life, to bring Netflix and Spotify and Better Up and all the rest of them into his life. He believes very profoundly, and he has always believed this, that somehow she has a magical being who is potent, and it just literally she's what blesses him. She's what brings him good fortune. She's the ace in the hole for him. He can count on it anytime. Whatever's going on in his life, think of Mummy and it will all be fine. It'll all be better. It's a very childlike view of Mummy. Very, very childlike, quite terrifying. And for somebody to come along, a malignant narcissist, allegedly, as the wife is, and to come along and exploit that very childlike, very naive view of Mummy, terrifying. Terrifying for the people watching, for the brother watching, for the family watching, for the world watching. That's why we're so stuck on this story. Even though the story has got pretty dull right now, we're still looking at it. We're still waiting for next chapters, because we want to see how this plays out, really. It's important to see how it plays out. So, the drink and drugs column. William, how bad was it when he was growing up? The party card, basically. How was it? It had to do with a broken home. It had to do with the fact that parents got divorced. 4 of Wands, upright, celebration, happy home. The marriage card, the firm foundation card. In reverse, broken home, unhappy, quite depressed, quite feeling unstable. He felt unstable. He, of course, found stability when he went off to university and he met Catherine and he became acquainted with a very normal middle-class family in the shape of the Middletons. And that was the firm ground beneath his feet that he was looking for. This was his response to coming from a broken home. Was to indulge, but it's not telling me massive amounts of indulgence. It's just telling me it was his way of compensating. In his teens, when he was troubled by what was going on in his close family, he would resort to some substance abuse. Not abuse, really. I'm not getting a substance abuse here. I'm getting drowning sorrows, and it ended pretty quickly, because the minute he found the happy home, the stable family, he was okay. He was fine. He was fixed. He was cured. Harry, how bad was the drink and drug situation? Well, we know, we've seen it, but what does Tarot want to tell us? Tarot tells us it because he was lonely. The 9 of Pentacles. So both of them have psychological underpinnings. My inexpert opinion, I'm not pretending to be a mental health expert here in this reading. I am a tarot reader. And 9 of Pentacles is the strong in yourself, comfortable in your own skin. You don't need anyone else. You don't need anything else. You're accomplished. You have all the resources you need in the world. You have a lot of self-confidence. You're fine on your own. You can make do on your own. In the reverse, you feel weak. You feel unsure. You feel unstable. You feel lonely. You feel vulnerable. You feel that you don't have enough. And so it's not giving me huge amounts of consumption of drink and drugs at all, but it's telling me that he felt lonely, he felt lost. He lost without this good fortune, this wheel of fortune. It was taken away, and then he felt terribly lonely. This one, William, saw through it all, saw her for what she was. Doesn't mean he didn't love her, but he saw the truth of her. And he was wounded and he was hurt and he was unhappy. But we're talking about a 4 there and a 9 there. A much more intense energy comes out of a 9 card than a 4 card. A 4 card is looking for a home, looking for a family, found it pretty quickly. He's a Cancerian. That's what Cancerians do. Here we've got a Virgo. Virgos are quite lonely, just inherently. Not such an easy journey for Virgos. I'm not saying it's an easy journey for Cancerians either, but if Cancerians find the right little home, right little nest, that's good. Virgos can feel lonely, can feel that if they don't have enough resources, if they don't have enough stuff around them, a busy work and things to do and things to count and stuff, then trouble. And he was definitely in trouble. So I'm not getting huge cards. I'm not getting, in a coma, having to have a stomach pump, that kind of thing. Not getting that. This is not what universe wants to tell us. It wants to tell us the reason why there was some problem with drink and drugs in their youth, allegedly. And although we saw the evidence of our own eyes, let's move on now to scandals. Scandals that they might both have been involved in that were hushed up to a certain extent. Well, allegedly, according to Omen Scobie, in William's case, completely hushed up, and Harry was the one whose slight misdemeanors were blown out of all proportion to distract, as a distraction from what William was up to. But did he get up to bad stuff in his life? This is not a scandal card. We've got the 6 of Cups. We've got the Six of Cups in reverse though. The Six of Cups is about your past, is about the people you've grown up with, your family, your friends, old flames, those kind of people. People that you've traveled quite a long way with in your life, that you feel sentimental about. You look back at fondly, the past. It's telling me that the past was a difficult country for William to inhabit. It was a source of, we've got very loud birds going on outside. It was a source of pain for him, the past. I'm not getting scandals. I'm getting possibly things with old friends, old flames. Maybe broke some girls' hearts that he'd grown up with and then dumped, loved and left. Maybe that kind of energy. What boy doesn't do that? What teenage boy does not do that? But it is the past that's uncomfortable for him. His memories of the past, his brooding on the past. It could be just some issues with people from his past. As I say, my instincts are telling me here that this is to do with old flames, girlfriends that he might not have treated the best when he was still finding his way, and may not have been entirely honourable with. But that's because he was young and lost and hurt and just growing up, doing normal growing up. This is not scandal and horror at all. This is just maybe somebody, a girl was left feeling sorry, hard done by, but wronged, but not in a terrible way. Not in a terrible way with the Six of Cups. Never. Harry, scandals that Harry might have been involved in. We've seen quite a few. You see the difference. You get the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords in reverse. Harry was involved in scandals that were shocking and devastating and really took him to rock bottom, where he was ruined. He was ruined and had to be rebuilt. We've seen quite a few of those. We know about quite a few of those. I'm speculating that there might have been quite a few more that were hushed up, covered over, buried. And so what Harry is saying about he being the scapegoat for William, I think is probably the reverse. I think that his behaviour was the egregious behaviour, was the shocking behaviour, the scandalous behaviour. The royal family did its utmost to bury. The card is in the reverse. That to me means ruined beyond. It was so bad that they wondered how they could ever rehabilitate him. What do we do with him? Okay, let's send him off to the army. He's going to write in his book he didn't want to go, he hated it. They just sent him off instead of giving him a cuddle and telling him, oh, it's all right. And who knows what he'd done by that stage. Apparently his behaviour when he went off to Argentina was pretty bad. And that gap year that he had when he finally struggled his way out of Eton and before he was packed off to the army. But he did things that were so terrible that they thought, we can't fix this. And now he's putting that on William. This is what the cards are telling me. This is my opinion, my interpretation. Finally, how is this all going to turn out for their relationship? The book, the scapegoat story, the misrepresentation of the past. It looks very much like there's going to be a misrepresentation of the past from Prince Harry, allegedly, in my opinion, all that usual stuff. Well, William is going forward. He's on his chariot. There is the Cancerian. He's going to win this one. He is going to drive forward into his destiny. He's taken the reins of the situation now. It is the ultimate Cancerian card, the Chariot. Cardinal sign. It's an action sign. We get things done. We do it. Might not have liked it in the past, but now I'm okay with it. I'm up for it. There's nobody more motivated than a Cancerian when they decide to roll their sleeves up and do something. It's a contradiction in terms. It's that hard shell, soft inside, but that hard shell gets things done. It's going to get things done. He's going to ride off. He's over it. He's over it, and he's heading towards his destiny. Very status oriented, very ambitious, very together, very with it, very driven, very focused. He's off. and he's going to leave this behind him. And the one that's going to be struggling is the one who's got 10 of swords and devil in his cards, because he hasn't dealt with the level of resentment, hatred, toxicity that he feels towards his brother. He still feels it, and he hasn't dealt with the shame and the scandal that he brought on himself in the past, and is now trying to blame his brother for. But his brother is going to ride away from this situation pretty much unscathed and not looking back. The Chariot does not look back. That's your reading for today. Just one reading. I'm a little bit late today, and so I will see you again tomorrow.